Once upon a time in a small riverside village in southern Nigeria, there lived two sisters. The older sister was called Adana. She was tall, beautiful, with smooth skin that glowed like morning light. The younger sister was called Nikem. She had scars on her face. Deep scars that never healed. Every morning, the village market was the same. When Adana walked through, people stopped to stare. See her beauty, oh, that girl is like a queen. Men would rush to carry her basket. Women would smile and wave. But when Nikem arrived carrying firewood on her head, the conversations died. Eyes slid away. People turned their backs. Nikem would walk past quietly, head down. Their mother would whisper urgently, "Nikem, go inside. Help in the kitchen." Adana would stand in the center of attention, smiling sweetly. But when Nikem passed, Adana's smile would sharpen. One afternoon, Nikem caught her reflection in a cracked mirror near the doorway. She stared at her scarred face. Then quietly, she turned the mirror to the wall. Adana watched from the corner. And smiled. A cold, satisfied smile. A visitor came to the compound. Uncle Emeka, a wealthy businessman from the city. Mama rushed to prepare. "Nikem, come and serve our guest. But stay in the corner. Don't stand where he can see you properly." Nikem nodded silently. She brought cola nuts. She poured drinks. She served food. But she stayed in the shadows. Adana sat in the center of the room, laughing brightly. She performed sweetness like a rehearsed dance. Uncle Emeka smiled at her. "Your daughter is very beautiful. She will marry well." Papa nodded proudly. "Yes, our Adana is a blessing." No one mentioned Nikem. She stood near the wall, hands folded, invisible. As Uncle Emeka spoke, Nikem overheard him whisper to Papa. "The other one. The scarred one. She's lucky she's family. Otherwise, who would keep her?" Nikem's hands trembled. She kept serving. Later, as Nikem carried plates to the kitchen, Adana hissed at her. "Don't walk behind me when we're outside. I don't want pity following me everywhere." Nikem stopped walking. Her throat tightened. She said nothing, just nodded, and disappeared into the kitchen, where no one could see her cry. That evening, neighbors gathered under the big mango tree. The topic, as always, turned to the sisters. Mama retold the story she had told 100 times before. It was an accident. A terrible, terrible accident. Nikem was just a child. Hot oil fell from the cupboard. It poured on her face. We rushed her to the hospital, but the scars, they stayed. The women sighed dramatically. Poor thing. Such a tragedy. But thank God for Adana's beauty. At least one daughter is still perfect. Papa nodded solemnly. It was fate. Nothing we could do. Nikem sat inside the house, stirring soup over the fire. Her hands shook. She remembered that day. The hot oil. The screaming. The pain. But there was something else. Something she had never spoken aloud. A memory that didn't fit the story. Adana's voice. Calm. Quiet. "Nikem, bring the pot down from the cupboard." Mama said so. But Mama hadn't been home. Nikem's chest tightened. She stirred the soup faster. Outside, Adana listened to the praise with a tight smile. But when someone mentioned the accident, her eyes went hard. Like stone. Cold and unmoving. And Nikem, inside the kitchen, wondered. But was too afraid to ask. Weeks passed. The village women gathered at Mama Ngozi's compound for a meeting. Adana attended, dressed beautifully in a new wrapper. The women praised her endlessly. "Adana, you are glowing. Your beauty is a gift from God." Adana smiled and accepted the compliments gracefully. Then one old woman spoke without thinking. "You know, Nikem used to be very pretty as a child. Before the accident, both of you were beautiful." The room went quiet. Adana's smile froze. Her eyes flickered. Then she laughed lightly. "Yes, but beauty fades if you're not careful." The conversation moved on quickly. But Adana didn't forget. That night, she found Nikem sweeping the compound. Adana walked close, too close. "Stop trying to exist," she whispered coldly. Nikem looked up, confused. "What? You heard me. Stop reminding people you're here. Stop showing your face. Stop trying." Nikem's broom fell from her hands. Adana walked away. Later that night, alone in her room, Adana opened an old wooden box. Inside were childhood photos. 2 little girls. Both smiling. Both beautiful. Adana stared at the photo. Her jaw clenched. Then she closed the box. And locked it. One Sunday afternoon, a wealthy man named Mr. Okonkwo came to visit. He brought gifts. He came to propose marriage to Adana. The compound erupted in celebration. Music played. Food was prepared. Neighbors came to congratulate. Adana glowed with pride. Papa and Mama beamed. Nikem had been sent to the market that morning. When she returned, dusty and tired, carrying a heavy basket, the celebration was at its peak. She walked through the gate quietly. Adana saw her, and exploded. "Ugly girl, why are you coming here now? Don't you see we have important guests? Don't ruin my special day." Everyone turned. Some guests laughed nervously. Others looked away. Mama rushed to Nikem. "Go inside, quickly." Nikem's face burned with shame. She ran into the house. Breathless, humiliated, she locked herself in her room. Tears poured down her face. She pressed her hands against her chest, trying to breathe. Then her eyes moved upward. To the roof, where she had hidden something months ago. A small leaf-wrapped package. A gift she had never dared to use. Her hand reached up slowly. Should she? Could she? It had happened months earlier. One dawn, Nikem went to fetch water from the stream. The air was cold. Birds sang. The path was quiet. Near the riverbank, she saw an elderly woman sitting with a heavy clay pot beside her. The woman looked weak, exhausted. Villagers walked past her without stopping. Nikem walked past too, but after a few steps, something pulled at her heart. She stopped, turned back. "Mama, let me help you," Nikem said gently. The old woman looked up. Her eyes were sharp, knowing. "You came back," the woman said. Nikem lifted the heavy pot onto her head. "Where do you live, Mama?" she asked. "Follow me." They walked deeper into the forest than Nikem had ever been. Finally, they reached a small hut hidden among thick trees. It felt ancient, untouched by time. Nikem placed the pot down carefully. "Thank you, my child," the woman said. Nikem smiled and turned to leave. "Wait." The old woman disappeared into the hut. She returned with a small package wrapped in dark green leaves. "Your kindness has woken something," the woman said. "This bomb will reveal who you are. And who others are." Nikem's hands trembled as she took it. The woman's voice grew serious. "But the jealous one will try to wear what isn't hers." Nikem stood in her room, staring at the leaf-wrapped bomb. For months, she had hidden it, too afraid to use it. But now, after Adana's cruelty, after the public humiliation, something inside her broke. She knelt and prayed quietly. "God, I don't want pride. I just want to be seen." Her hands shook as she unwrapped the leaves. Inside was a smooth, pale cream. It smelled like earth and rain. She closed her eyes and gently applied a small amount to her scarred face. Immediately, warmth spread across her skin. Not burning, not painful, just calm. A strange peace filled her chest. For the first time in years, she fell asleep without crying. The next morning, Nikem woke early to fetch firewood. As she walked through the village path, something felt different. People stared, not with pity, with surprise. Men paused their work. Women whispered. Nikem touched her face nervously. What was happening? Had something gone wrong? She tried to walk faster. Then a voice stopped her. "Sister, let me help you." A man stepped forward. Tall, kind eyes, respectful posture. He reached for her bundle of firewood. Nikem froze. No one had ever offered to help her before. "Let me carry this for you," he said gently. And for the first time in her life, someone treated her softly. The man's name was Chuka. He was a trader, known in the village for his honesty and quiet strength. He lifted Nikem's firewood onto his shoulder easily. "What is your name?" he asked. "Nikem," she whispered, barely audible. "Nikem, that's a beautiful name." She didn't know how to respond. No one had called anything about her beautiful before. They walked together through the village. People stared openly now. Whispers followed them. "Is that Nikem? With Chuka? What is happening?" Nikem's heart pounded. When they reached her compound, Chuka placed the firewood down gently. He smiled at her. "I will see you again." Then he greeted the household respectfully and left. Nikem stood frozen. Adana had been watching from the doorway. She had seen everything. Her smile died slowly. Her eyes burned with something dark. Chuka had greeted her politely. But his attention had stayed on Nikem. His eyes had lingered on Nikem. His respect had been for Nikem. Adana's hands clenched into fists. That night, she couldn't sleep. Jealousy crawled through her chest like fire. And she began to watch closely. Days passed. Chuka kept appearing near the stream when Nikem went to fetch water. Always respectful, always kind, he would carry her buckets, walk beside her, ask about her day. Nikem struggled to believe it was real. Does he see me? She wondered. Or does he see something else? She thought about the bomb. Was this love real? Or was it magic? The fear ate at her. But Chuka's kindness never wavered. Meanwhile, Adana started following Nikem secretly, hiding behind trees, watching through windows, learning her routine. She saw Nikem leave early for the stream. She saw Chuka waiting. She saw them laugh together. And the jealousy turned to rage. One night, Adana crept to Nikem's window. She watched through a crack in the wooden shutter. Inside, Nikem knelt by candlelight. She pulled something from the roof. A small package wrapped in leaves. Adana's breath caught. Nikem unwrapped it carefully. A cream. She applied it gently to her face. Then wrapped it again and hid it. Adana's heart raced. A cream. That's the secret. That's why Chuka noticed her. That's why people stared. Adana's mind spun. If it's beauty, she thought, it belongs to me. The next night, Adana waited until everyone was asleep. She crept into Nikem's room like a thief. Her own sister's room. Her hands searched the roof quietly. There, she found the leaf-wrapped package. Her heart pounded with triumph. She held it close to her chest and returned to her room. Alone, she unwrapped it eagerly. The cream glowed faintly in the moonlight. If Nikem can have beauty, Adana whispered, then I deserve it more. She scooped a large amount and smeared it across her face. Too much, too greedily. For a moment, nothing happened. Then her skin began to tingle. Then burn. Then scream. Pain exploded across her face. Adana gasped and ran to the water basin. She splashed water desperately, but the burning spread. Her skin blistered, peeled, darkened. She tried to scream but terror choked her voice. Finally, a cry tore from her throat. Mama, Papa, help me. The house erupted. Footsteps rushed. Doors slammed open. Nikem woke to chaos. She ran to Adana's room and froze. Adana's face was ruined, burnt, scarred, destroyed. The same face that had been praised for years. Gone. Adana collapsed to the floor, screaming. Mama and Papa surrounded her, panicking. What happened? What did you do? Neighbors rushed in, drawn by the screams. The room filled with shocked faces. Adana clutched a wrapper over her face, sobbing like a child. Nikem stood in the doorway, silent. Not gloating, not celebrating, just stunned. Adana's sobs grew louder. Then, through the tears, words came. Broken, desperate. I did it years ago too. The room went silent. What are you saying? Papa asked, his voice shaking. Adana's body shook violently. The oil, the accident. It wasn't an accident. Mama gasped. I put the pot on the high cupboard. I told Nikem to get it down. I knew it would fall. I knew it would burn her. Nikem's knees weakened. She grabbed the doorframe. I was jealous, Adana cried. Everyone loved her. Everyone said she was beautiful. I wanted to be the only one. Papa staggered backward. Mama covered her mouth, tears streaming. The neighbors whispered urgently. The truth spread like wildfire. Nikem felt the room spin. All the years of pain. All the shame. All the hiding. It had a name now. Jealousy. And a face. Her own sister. The next morning, the village elder arrived. Mama had sent for him in desperation. Elder Obi was a respected man. His word carried weight. He stood in the compound, staff in hand, face stern. The truth must be spoken publicly, he declared. Not hidden in shame. By afternoon, the village square was full. People gathered from every corner. Adana sat on a stool, her face covered with cloth. Nikem stood to the side, scars visible, refusing to hide. Papa and Mama sat with heads bowed. Elder Obi spoke loudly. Adana, daughter of this house. Speak the truth before your people. Adana's voice was barely a whisper. I caused my sister's scars. I set the trap. I wanted her beauty destroyed. The crowd erupted. What? Her own sister? This is evil. Women who had praised Adana now spat on the ground. Men who had brought her gifts turned their backs. You are wicked. Someone shouted, "How could you do this to your own blood?" Adana sobbed openly. Mama and Papa cried. Elder Obi turned to them. "Your favoritism fed this jealousy. You are not innocent." Papa nodded, broken. Then Elder Obi looked at Nikem. The crowd leaned in. "Will you curse her back?" someone asked. Everyone waited. Nikem's answer would define everything. Nikem stood quietly, her scarred face calm. She looked at Adana, at her parents, at the crowd. Then she spoke. "I will not curse her." Murmurs spread. "I forgive you, Adana." Adana's sobs grew louder. But, Nikem continued, her voice steady, "Forgiveness doesn't mean I forget. It doesn't mean we go back to how things were." She turned to her parents. "You are my blood, but you don't get my life anymore." Mama reached for her. "Nikem, please. We are family. We can heal together." Nikem shook her head. "You chose her beauty over my pain. You hid me. You silenced me. I forgive you, but I'm leaving." Papa stood. "Where will you go?" "Somewhere I don't have to hide." Adana crawled forward on her knees. "Sister, please. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." Nikem looked down at her. "I know you are, but sorry doesn't give me back the years you stole." She turned to the crowd. "I am leaving this compound. I will not carry hatred. But I will not stay where I was made invisible." The crowd was silent. Nikem walked away, head high, scars visible, free. Nikem went to find Shuka. She found him at the market, buying supplies. When he saw her, he smiled. But she didn't smile back. "I need to tell you something," she said. They walked to a quiet place under a large tree. Nikem took a deep breath. "There was a balm, a cream. It made me different. That's why you noticed me." Shuka listened quietly. "My sister stole it. It burned her. She confessed to ruining my face when we were children. Everything is broken now." Nikem reached into her wrapper and pulled out a cloth. She wiped her face. The balm came off. Her scars returned fully visible. "This is me," she said. "The real me. If you want to leave, I understand." Shuka didn't move. He didn't flinch. He looked at her scars. Then into her eyes. "I noticed your kindness before any balm," he said gently. "I saw how you helped the woman at the stream. I saw how you carried burdens without complaining. That's what I saw first." Nikem's eyes filled with tears. "I want to meet your family," Shuka said. "The proper way. I want to marry you." Nikem's breath caught. "Even now? Even like this?" "Especially now." A week later, Shuka came to the compound with elders from his family. It was a formal visit. Papa and Mama sat nervously. The village had been talking non-stop. Shuka's uncle spoke first. "We come to ask for the hand of Nikem in marriage." Papa looked shocked. Mama wiped tears. Shuka sat beside his uncle, calm and sure. "She is a woman of character," Shuka continued. "I have seen her heart. I respect her strength." Elder Obi, who had been invited to witness, nodded approvingly. "This is a man who sees clearly," Elder Obi said. Papa finally spoke, his voice thick with regret. "We do not deserve this honor. We failed her." Mama sobbed. "We are ashamed." Shuka looked at them kindly. "The past is behind. We build forward." Negotiations began simply. No games. No delays. Respect filled the room. Adana watched from inside the house, her face still covered. She heard the laughter, the agreement, the joy, and she wept, not from anger this time. From regret. Deep, crushing regret. Outside, Nikem stood tall. No longer hidden, no longer invisible, seen, valued, chosen. For the first time, she believed she was enough. Just as she was. As the families celebrated, the old woman appeared. The same woman from the forest. She stood at the edge of the compound, watching quietly. Elder Obi saw her first. His eyes widened. "Mama Kai," he whispered. Others turned. The old woman walked forward slowly. Her presence commanded silence. She looked at Adana, still hiding inside. "The balm was never about beauty," the old woman said. "It exposes hearts. It returns envy to the envier." The crowd listened, captivated. This girl, she pointed to Nikem, showed kindness without expecting reward. The balm revealed her true nature, kind, strong, worthy. She turned toward the house. The other one took what wasn't hers. The balm revealed her truth too. Jealous, greedy, destructive. Adana's sobs could be heard from inside. The old woman looked at the village. "What you worship becomes your punishment." This village worshipped beauty, and beauty became a weapon. She turned back to Nikem. Now you must choose. Hide forever in safety, or step forward fully, scars and all. Nikem met her eyes. I choose to step forward. The old woman smiled. Then you are truly free. And just like that, she was gone. Vanished into the forest, leaving the village whispering. The wedding preparations were simple but beautiful. No extravagance, just dignity. The village came to witness. Not out of pity this time. Out of respect. Nikem wore a simple wrapper, her scars visible and uncovered. She walked through the village with her head high. No shame, no hiding. Chuka stood waiting, smiling. When she reached him, he took her hand gently. The elders blessed their union. May your home be built on truth, not appearance. May your love see hearts, not faces. The ceremony was short, but it was real. Afterward, Nikem and Chuka greeted guests together. Papa and Mama approached, tears in their eyes. We are proud of you, Papa whispered. And we are sorry. Nikem nodded. I forgive you, but things are different now. Mama hugged her. We understand. From a distance, Adana watched. Her face was covered with a wrapper. She had not been invited to sit with the family. But she came anyway, to witness what she had almost destroyed. Nikem saw her. Their eyes met. Nikem didn't smile, but she didn't look away either. Adana understood. Forgiveness had been given, but closeness had not, and it never would be. Months later, Nikem and Chuka built a small house near the river. It was peaceful, quiet, safe. Nikem worked in the market, selling goods with Chuka. People greeted her warmly now. Not because of beauty, because of character. Adana remained in her parents' compound. Her face healed over time, but scars remained. She lived quietly, no longer the village crown. No longer praised, no longer pursued. She carried the weight of her choices every day. Sometimes, she would see Nikem in the market. She would watch from afar. See her sister laugh, see her smile, see her free. And Adana would remember what jealousy had cost her. Everything. Papa and Mama changed too. They honored both daughters now. But the past could not be undone. Only carried. One evening, villagers gathered under the mango tree. The old topic returned. What happened to those sisters was a lesson, one elder said. Yes, another agreed. Favoritism breeds jealousy, and jealousy punishes the one who carries it. A young mother asked, but what is real beauty? An old woman answered, a good heart. That is beauty that lasts. And somewhere in the forest, the old woman smiled. Her work was done. The village had learned, and Nikem was finally, truly free. Favoritism breeds jealousy, and jealousy eventually punishes the person who carries it. Beauty fades, but a good heart brings lasting honor, and forgiveness can free you without reopening the door to harm.